Hello, beautiful soul seekers. Thank you so much for being here, listening to another episode of A Soul's Voice. I am Kay, and let's get into the message of today. Today, I seen a short on YouTube with a woman dancing, and she says, I celebrated paying a year of $2,500 in rent. And I thought that was so beautiful because sometimes we achieve things that we struggled with believing that we could be able to achieve. So I don't know. I don't know about her story or anything, but just say hypothetically, she had roommates and then she moved out on her own and she was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay my rent for a year by myself without no help, without anybody. And, she got to the end of the year and she recognized that she was able to do it. I thought this hypothetical scenario is a beautiful metaphor of how we should celebrate every day. Every day we experience little miracles. Like, for instance, yesterday I had to pick up my vehicle from getting an oil change. And in my mind, I thought the oil change was going to be like $150. And in reality, the oil change was only like $90. So I was excited. I celebrated that because I'm like, hey, I got to save some money. It's not as much as I thought it was. In the past, it has been more. So I was just very grateful for that little win. And a lot of times we have a lot of those little moments, even with simple things as far as information. I was wondering about something the other day. I can't remember what it was, but I was asking God, like, I want to know about this. And a couple of days later, the information just popped up in front of me and I was able to receive the answer to my question. But had I not been able to be aware and mindful of what I asked and what I was looking for a few days ago, I could have easily missed that miracle moment by being distracted by social media or my children, my husband, or doing stuff and on the go and just thinking about 1,000 things a minute. But since I was in a state of just being and receiving and allowing God to work in my life, I was able to see that beautiful blessing as simple as receiving an answer to a question or receiving the information that I was seeking. So a lot of times life works out like this, and we are often reminded to be happy for the little miracles. And those little miracles are very little and very subtle, and we don't realize how beautiful life is. So that video really sparked deep down within me a beautiful exchange of energy of like, life is to be enjoyed, life is to be lived, a deeper understanding of what that phrase means, of life is to be lived, life is to be celebrated. If you were able to get out of the bed today and yesterday you couldn't get out of the bed because you were sick or you were mentally exhausted or you just didn't have it in you, but you got out the bed today, then guess what? That's a celebration. If you're able to go for a walk, that's a celebration. Every time you eat your food or drink or take a warm shower or be able to afford something, that is a celebration of you showing up for yourself and being grateful too. Because a lot of times I know for myself especially, being grateful can be hard to do, but when you're able to celebrate every win that you have, even the smallest ones, the smallest miracles that you experience, it puts you in a constant state of gratification. Like, the life is magical then. So I want you to take this message and tuck it away, save it for later to come back and listen to in those moments where you may be feeling ungrateful or feeling like life is not going the way you want it. And re-listen to this message, because I'm here to tell you life is very magical, and there's magical and miraculous moments that we experience every day, but we have to slow our minds down, slow our thinking and planning and strategizing down, and tune in to what we really are desiring and what we're really asking and what we're really seeking, and being able to be present in the moment. And just a reminder again, guys, like, you're part of this complex divine matrix that's full of so many logistics and workings that is working for your favor. So sometimes when we're asking for something, it's not coming to us for many factors. Sometimes it's because God knows, like, if I were to give you this thing, for example, I don't know if you guys are familiar with lottery and like lottery winning stories, but there's a lot of stories where tragedy or very sad things happen to people who has won the lottery, and it's because that was a lesson for them in life. And sometimes you're protected from certain lessons in life, and sometimes God just allows those lessons to occur for you to learn. Confirmation, my doorbell rang. 1 second. Okay, so what was I saying? um but yeah, so sometimes God allows us to go through different things to be able to learn and grow as a soul, because that's what we're here to do. So when things are not working out, really ask yourself, what is the lesson that you're learning? Or is there something higher, like destiny? Because sometimes timing comes in, a lot of times timing comes in to our situation, and no matter what we do, if it's not the right time, it's just not going to work out, and we have to be okay with that. But you have to rewire the question. For instance, I'm ready to move to a new location, and at first I was complaining about the location that I've been living in for the last 5 years. I'm like, ugh, I'm tired, I'm ready to move, I don't enjoy this place, I've outgrown this environment, which is true. But if I stay focused on those negative things, then I'm missing the blessing that's still around me, that's still happening, that's still occurring. So I recently phrased the question and the mindset and the thoughts to, okay, this place has been a beautiful place. I've been able to heal. I've met wonderful people. My children have met people. We've been able to start businesses and flourish. And I've been able to move some of my family, my mom, and everybody down here. Like, it is a beautiful place still. Just because I've outgrown it doesn't make it like bad anymore. A lot of times when we outgrow something or someone, we have to justify ourselves as to why we need to leave that thing behind, instead of leaving it with love and saying, I love you, I appreciate you, but I've outgrown you, and that's fine. So those are just a few examples. But yes, celebrate every day. How can you celebrate love in your life today, tomorrow, the next day? How are you celebrating yourself? How are you celebrating God? How are you celebrating all the positive energies that are always around? You just have to tap into them. And it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. And if it was, everybody would be doing it. But if you're here today and you've made it this far, that means you're capable of doing this, rephrasing your mindset. So, like I said, save this video so you can come back to it and be reminded that you're a powerful being and you control the narrative in your life, in your mind. So, anywho, I thank you all so much for being here with me today. And as always, I will see y'all in the next episode. Bye for now.